All right, so today's video, we are back with another Quick Play Warrior series where I watch a Quick Play game, I watch a rank game, I guess where your rank's at. It's a good time. And starting off here, we have a support on PC with 890 hours of unranked and 50 hours of ranked. And they say, hi, been watching your YouTube for a while and saw this new series. I'm actually so glad you started this. I've been playing since Overwatch 1, 2017, but I'm definitely a quick play warrior. I avoided comp most of the time because I tend to get anxiety around playing comp. Also, they can be so long, as shown in my almost 25-minute long placement match replay. It was the last placement match too, brutal. But I've been meaning to play more comp, and this series was a perfect motivator, and so I finished my placements all in one night, getting 3 losses and 7 wins. That's a pretty good placement. Some things about myself. I'm a tried and true support main. I main Juno and Ana the most, with Juno being my current favorite. In the quick play match, I show my Juno, while my placement game started out with Juno, but switch over to Ana after the first round because I felt like I wasn't doing enough impact as Juno. So hopefully you can see how I play my 2 mains, though definitely not my best Ana. Finished my last placement match at 2 a.m. I feel like I definitely have potential to rank up and would love to see how you critique my gameplay. All right, so we'll start with the quick play game, get an idea of where I think they're gonna be at. We'll watch the rank game, and then we go from there. All right, so I probably don't need to tell you this, but don't speed ring randomly right there. That speed ring does nothing for anybody. So just be careful of that. Cooldown usage is very important. Well, see, now what you want to do is probably speed. Okay, so like already your speed ring usage is a little bit off. I would recommend, like, for example, your reaction here for your speed ring should actually be able to speed ring your Zarya back because your Zarya needs help. Speed ringing up here, it does nothing. Again, this goes back to like nothing happens with it. You're just speed ringing to speed ring. Your Zarya would love that speed ring right now after that charge. I know there's an Ana flanking you, but yeah, anyway. So you choose to do that. Now you're not healing your Zarya, so you got to be a little bit more wary of that. Yeah, you kind of... So, like, right there, you kind of just ran in circles, and all you really needed to do was look forward to your team and move around to worry about the people flanking you. Instead, you kind of just got lost, ran in circles, and now here we are. Teammates died. Thankfully, you still are up, so maybe you can pick up a kill on this Mercy. Target focus is also off here because you saw that the Mercy was really low HP for a little bit and decided to shoot at a Reinhardt the whole time. The reason why the target priority would be the Mercy is because if you kill the Mercy, the Rein doesn't get healed, and then you kill the Rein after. Even though the Rein is being annoying in your backline, the Mercy going down there is going to be fine. Once you get that going, the Rein will fall over and you're good to go. So. That's good, Spoon. There's the charge. You spamming your heals on your teammate. Be careful of peeking the corner here. Just play to live for a second. Okay. Your team's on the point. You're trying to keep everybody else alive. And you're good. Okay. Now it looks like you're settling finally. Now your position has gotten better. And then I say that and you get shattered, although I think that was just a good shatter. Yep, get out if you can. Speed ring yourself out. And then rotate all the way around. Health pack right there. It's down on the, like, right behind you. And you're good. Going high ground here would not be a bad recommendation, at least in my opinion. Take the high ground, go up there, have some fun. We'll see how that goes, though. Not bad. Getting some damage in. Okay, so far so good. I would recommend trying to go up to the stairs top left to get a little bit more of a vantage point, just going for the high ground. But a little bit better than what we saw at the start. Do not Juno ult this. It's gonna look like you should, but I would wait at least until, I don't even know if I would do it. I would just keep speed ring your Zarya out. Yeah, okay. I want to point out to you here on these speed rings, Wuyang does not need your speed ring due to the cooldowns that Wuyang has. So again, I want you to start using your speed rings for your other teammates, like your Zarya. Your Zarya could benefit from that. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe that your Zarya kind of fed right there. But like putting the speed ring way behind your Zarya will not allow your Zarya to have the speed to even maneuver around them. So a lot of what the number one problem I've seen with you so far goes back to something I've seen in a lot of VODs. It's like, it's just your cooldown management is off. And you're trying to use like your cooldowns in just like random ways rather than in like an effective way. And that's a part of the problem. The Juno ult will be interesting here because you don't have some of your team and you're not really using your own ultimate. So now your ultimate's being used as a... That was a weird one because, like, if you're not going to use your ultimate, then you're going to end up just getting rolled anyway because you have to be in your ultimate to benefit from it. That was a weird one there. Just felt like you used your Juno ultimate to use your Juno ult. Sometimes the difference between, like, a team fight could be a good speed rank or a good, like, time torpedo or a good ultimate, right? Like, those can just make or break a fight. And if you're just using your cooldowns the way you do, that's a good usage. Your Zarya could benefit from it. Obviously, you would like it to be a little bit further back towards where your Zarya was, so there might have been a problem, but the idea is right. Okay, backing away. Yep. I don't mind the right click. Good pick. Remember to maneuver away on the high. Yep. As you can see, as I was talking about earlier, Wuyan got away easily from the Rhine. Might still die there, but, like, that's why I'm saying use your speed ring elsewhere because your teammates won't be able to benefit as much. You were getting shot at by the Ashe. I want to point something out to people here. It's okay to just back away and hide for a minute. Sometimes players stay so involved in a team fight that you end up getting killed there. So if you look right there, I believe that's what you did wrong, is you just kept peeking and fell over as Ashe. Look what the card is. You have a retake, right? If the card's here, okay, maybe you're, like, questioning whether you should, like, go to it. But look what the card is. You have another team fight. So why give them a free kill when you can slightly back up and just wait and then retake this at the correct time? Instead, now you're going to be at kind of almost on your back foot, and you won't really have a good opportunity on that one. Now, instead of having the possibility of retaking that and doing a bunch of play, you just give them the point for free. So, keeping numbers in those situations is how your team, like, gains that, like, confidence that you're going to be able to win the team fight. Yeah. Okay. Not bad. A little bit of a note for a map like this. It's not like a huge deal, but it can be helpful at times to understand this. This doorway takes a second to open up, so if you can actually win the team fight before this door opens up, you buy yourself a little bit of time. This just means that if you get wiped here before, like, say they team wipe you here eventually, you just engage the cart here instead of, like, here. It just gives you a little bit more room to work with. So there's one other map that's really good for that, Eichenwald. If you get to the cart before the doorway opens, you can kind of block it there and buy yourself, like, a really good retake in an extra minute or so. It's really, really effective. If you have to get everybody to agree to it, though. You can pop your ult here. And in fact, I would pop your ult here, 100%. Do not let them get this. If you give them a free team fight, it's because you didn't give the Juno ult here. Yeah, okay. So you can't, listen, don't wait for your teammates to get to 1 HP because they can still die due to the DPS passive. I know the DPS passive isn't as effective on a tank. It's 15% instead of 30, but 15% less healing is 15% less healing. Why wait for your Ramattra to get to 1 HP and, you know, basically falling over? So the difference here is now you have your Juno ultimate, but instead of having a good Ramattra ultimate to go with that Juno ultimate, you're going to have a 4v4 with a Bob on the field. This team fight becomes a lot more difficult for your team. Now you're down in numbers and your team is backing up. So you've lost your tank there. You end up wasting your ultimate because you waited too long. If you used it sooner, you would have been fine. And now you've lost a little bit of that map control. And I think I've talked about it before. Like with Juno ultimate, it's more about being aggressive with it and, like, basically using it as, like, a, hey, let's go in with this. Or, like, I'm going to use it backwards so that way we can help my whole team survive, than it is like a, I'm just going to use it randomly to save somebody at low HP towards the tail end of their HP. It's just not the way you want to do that. So now you have to basically retake. Now, thankfully, it looks like your Ramattra did end up making a clutch play to kind of regain the control of this map. But still, it's your team's not making it super easy. Healing your Ramattra, don't be afraid to use your right click here to do the damage to the queen and also heal your teammate. There it is. I would have done that a little bit sooner. I think you left it up for some risk, but it all worked out. Yeah, I mean, you're not doing anything really wrong here. You're just standing there. This is normal. This is like just this is called the neutral. There's not much you can do. You're not trying to push past. You're not trying to give up your positioning. You're just playing it right. You're just playing it right. That's a good sleep. Honestly, I don't even know if they meant to sleep you. I think they might have meant to sleep your teammate and then just slept you. Speedring your Ramattra. Should have been speedringing even sooner than that. Again, I think your speedring usage is just really random at times. Like, sometimes you have the right idea but wrong timings. And sometimes you have the wrong idea and just there's no timing. So it's like, remember, speedring is good to help your teammates. You also benefit from yourself. Notice how you just speedring and, like, you manage to go fast after? It's because when you speedring, it also benefits you. So don't, like, really use it for yourself. Let me rephrase that. Don't throw it at your feet to use it for yourself. Like, you can also throw it forward and you'll use it for yourself. Like when you do that initially to, like, reposition yourself. Remember the mistake you made last time here. Don't be afraid to use your ultimate more early than you did last time. Or earlier, excuse me, not more early. Earlier than last time. I still think you were further back. Okay, this is what I mean. Like, again, you're trying to use it as almost a reactionary ultimate, and I just don't think that's the play. You're not using it aggressively. You're like, yeah, it's not going to catch up to your teammates. So what I would actually do in this situation is play here and just ult in. Commit to the ult in, go in together, and just send the play. Why, like, wait and risk it when your teammate dies again? Like, stop using it as, like, a reactionary ult and more as that we're going in with this ultimate, or we're backing up with it. Not like, I'm going to use it to try to save you at, like, mid-range, right? It's just not going to work. At least in my opinion. Random speed ring again. The reason why I say that is because you had some time. I would rather you save it an extra second or two. I do like this right-click flank, though. This is really good. Nice play. Remember, you have teammates who are in this. I know it's exciting to get the initial kills there, but I really think you'll... Yeah, see. This happens a lot with Juno, is when you get that first, like, initial play and burst, you're like, dude, this is going to be awesome, right? If you were playing a Yari and popping your ultimate, I'm going to say DPS them all day long because you can chain effect that. But it feels like that whenever you go in with your right-click, you get really excited that you got, like, a kill or you got them low, and then you just start blasting. I want you to think about this. Their team's going to have to start backing up a little bit during that. The best thing you could do is keep your teammates alive. You keep your teammates alive, you just win the team fight. But you keep letting your Ramatra die when you do these type of, like, torpedoes. So you really need to understand that when you use these, you need to then go and heal your team. Now, keep in mind, if it's a 5v5 there, it's a little bit different, right? But you were in a 5v3. Keeping the numbers advantage here is the way to go. It's like such a cool play, and then they just get back to full HP, and you're like, oh no. So, anyway. That is the unluckiest Queen ult, and by unlucky, they could have avoided the cart, but I thought they would have slide off of it too, so. There you go. Either way, ended up being a good retake, regardless of all that. And you get the place, so good job. And again, keep in mind, chat, sometimes the play I suggest, it's all hindsight. They still made a good play, and it still works, so it's more just giving you some habits to go into that one. Yep. If I had to guess your rank right now, based off of cooldown usage and your reaction to some plays, I'm going to start in a weird spot with this one. I'm going to go with gold 2. I'm not even worried about mechanics for the most part. I'm more worried about your decision-making and cooldown management. But that could shift because we're about to have a 24-minute game of comp to see your Ana, and that Ana can help me understand a little bit more about what you're aiming for, about what you're doing. Okay, so far you're just, using your cooldowns. I kind of zoned for the first 20 seconds of that one, I'll be real. Wasn't anything, like, happening outside your teammate. Here's the Doom. Good reaction on the right click. Better. Okay. Be careful of this. Like, right there. So when you flew up in the air like that, you didn't even, like, try to clear out where they are. I want you to be careful of that. That's how you fall over right away to, like, that Ash or something. Like, don't do the... I just turn the corner flying and not even know where anybody's at, because that's how you just get, like, one shot or, like, taken down really quickly. So far, though, outside of that, good speed ring. Healing your team. It's okay if you want to do one more right click here to kind of get everybody sustained and do some extra damage. I think that's okay. Speed ring your team up. I would actually speed ring your team up a little bit. Yep, perfect. I'm just trying to get you to use it immediately there so your teammates can benefit from it. You see how, like, they didn't benefit from it because they started to push up themselves? In those situations, it's okay to throw a speed ring out because you basically want your teammates to go be aggressive and finish up those kills, and if they can't, they can back up into the speed ring again. This speed ring's a little bit more interesting. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. Like, some of your speed rings are just cooldown, like, you're just wasting your cooldowns. I know your Sigma's in there, but until your Sigma starts to back up a little bit more, you need to use your speed ring after that. So both times your speed ring timings have been off. And this was something that we saw during the Quickplay games, too. Yeah, you see this? You're using it like so right now you're making it a gameplay loop of just using speed ring. You're not using it as like a why am I using a speed ring here? There's your ult again. This one's a little bit different. I understand that you actually did use it on the time that you could, so I'm not going to be too upset about your time in there because, like, you basically used it the moment you had an opportunity. Nothing you can do here. Trying to retake, but your team was already at a weird spot in the retake. Nothing you can do about that. So, yep. On to second point. Once you fix your cooldown usage, you'll be in a good spot. This speed ring is good. The reason why that speed ring is good, chat, is the team is trying to disengage out without getting staggered. So the best way to do that is to speed ring your team out. You did your best. The Sojourn stayed there for too long. You fall over. You force out an ultimate now. You might lose your Life Weaver. Not really your fault. The best thing you can do now as a team is just reset. This is the correct play. I love how the Doomfist randomly killed you there, even though they missed by a mile. Like, once you lost your Sojourn, the best thing you can do is go for that follow-up a limb as a trade and then just speed on the cart. You're not going to be able to get out, and you don't want to, like, slow down your ability to retake the map. It just sometimes you just got to realize the team fight's over, and you just need to reset. Okay. Back it away. There's the speed ring. Using that for yourself to get out. I'm okay with this. There's a Yup Rock on the Doom. You know there's no ultimate. The rest of your team would love a little bit of heals. There it is. Starting the blast again here. You might kill a Juno there. Nope. All right, that speed ring is okay because it's near your Sigma, and they're going to use it as an opportunity to disengage out if they can. Unfortunately, your teammates die there. You stop looking at your Life Weaver for a second, and that's what's going to happen. Junkrat is going to push you. Yep, and you're just sitting there. You're kind of just like, you're doing the thing where you're just like button mashing and just waiting for things to happen. And that sometimes can't go, that's going to go a long way sometimes, so. Yeah, there's nothing you can really do here except wait for your Sigma to take space, but like your Sigma's also making the correct play. To give people what I mean by the correct play, sometimes, Chad, it's okay to give up this whole street here if your team comp just needs time. You have a Junkrat, you have a Cassidy. Your Cassidy can play at this range, and your Junkrat can play here. So, like, you can't really do much. You want to funnel them into the choke. Just gotta give people an idea, by the way. In top 500 games, a lot of the time, unless you get an early pick here, you give up the whole map up until here because this is such a dominant choke that it's better just to guarantee that you win the team fight here than it is to try to force a team fight here and give up the space right here. If you find that you back up during this, like, don't be like, get in there, go, keep pushing up, what are you doing? Because there actually is worlds here where you don't do that. Now, we've talked about this in the Quickplay one. You gotta use this more proactively rather than just sitting there and holding it, right? I'm okay with this. Yeah, why not? That was a good ult. You saw a high noon, you popped your ult. It forced out a Junkrat one, you survive it, you get the kills, you win a team fight. Excellent. That was much better than what I saw during that Quickplay game. This one I'm a little bit more questionable on because, like, I get that you see the Junkrats there, but the worst thing you can do in that situation is trade. And what happened? You and your Life Weaver just ran in there to 1v1 a Junkrat. Was that Junkrat giving you a problem earlier up in that spot? Absolutely not. So why go in there and give them a free kill and trade when you already had numbers? There's no reason to get that Junkrat kill. There's just no reason to. So you and your Life Weaver just basically went up there and gave them free kills, and now you're on your back foot again. Hopefully this ultimate will be good for the Junkrat. You know what? I would say that was pretty solid, because if your Junkrat doesn't do that, this looks a lot worse than it was. So make sure to thank your Junkrat for that play. So wait, oh well, there it is. Yep, you're just getting grinded down here at that point. Your team lost map control, you lost contain. This is normal. You see why it's so important not to lose that choke, chat? Like, you know how much of a difference play style this is for Juno? Once you lose that, you just can't do as much. You just basically get rolled. Now, obviously, your teammates do a really good job here of keeping up their ultimates and getting some kills. So very good job by your teammates in the retake. But this goes back to just losing that initial map control anyway, so. Yep, they just pop their ultimates. Nothing you can do about that. You get snowballed. Yeah, your team wasn't going to be able to really win this team fight unless you got an early pick. That's only one of the ways to do it, which I guess there is a theory here that when you know you're at an ult disadvantage to push back up further. I just didn't see I forgot what the numbers were. Now this will help me understand where I think rank-wise is. I'm still leaning towards like the gold 2, gold 1. And that's because, like, I'm also looking at the team comps. It's very rare to get the Junkrat duel on Junkertown. Or not Junkertown, on Havana. Sorry, sniper map's on my mind. So let's see. Positioning. It's okay so far. I watched your Ana gameplay. I like that swap to Diva by your teammate. Nice Ana grenade. That was very well placed. Good job. We'll see if they can follow up on that kill. It was kind of unlucky when they were backing up, but yeah, good job. Good heals. Yeah, so far, solid start. Positioning solid. The Ana's making me think I might upgrade this to like plat 3 or plat 4. Because like I haven't seen you, the only problem you're running into is like you're doing, like, see when you like went in front of the cart to heal your life weaver? I want you to think about cover when you're doing that. That's a really easy way right there to be able to get one shot by like one of their snipers or like a random spam. So just remember, back up behind the cart to do the heal rather than in front. I talk about pathing all the time. That's what I mean. Like, there's no point to travel in front of the cart to heal your teammate when you can do the same thing going behind the cart. Like, give yourself opportunity with cover. Good save. Don't be afraid to nano your diva here. I think that would be the correct play. Your diva would... Yeah, nano your diva. Good nano. Good play. Nice job. Stay back. So far, so good. Getting your heals going. Nice. Good first point. Good job. Positioning was solid. That Ashe flanked you. That wasn't bad positioning. Nice. Good play. Remember, it's also okay to settle sometimes, too. I want to get in the habit of, like, once you get to a really good spot, you don't have to move around the map like this all the time. I'm also somebody who likes to spam jump and run around a lot. But once you get into, like, the heat of the battle, don't be afraid just to play the correct angles and not give them any opportunity. Like, make them have to take a wide angle to get you, not run around in circles, because that's how you can get one shot sometimes. Set up for positioning. I think this is correct. You can now go up to the high ground as your teammates get closer. You know where the tire is. On a grenade in it is like, I saw you kind of aiming for that. I wouldn't suggest it all the time unless you know you can hit it. For like a Junkrat one, because by then the tire's already gone, and if you can't follow up on the Junkrat, what does purple and the Junkrat even do? So you need to make sure that you're directly hitting that tire to put the extra early damage on it. Otherwise, like, nothing's gonna happen. So I'm not trying to get you to not honor grenade a Junkrat in those situations. I'm trying to make you to think about the decision of when you should do it and when you shouldn't. If there's no follow-up possibility and you don't think you're going to hit the tire right away, which is when you would probably have to do it, you're probably going to not get any value out of that and then wish you had the grenade later on. So, good diva out there. Honor grenade the left side where the Ashe is. Yep. Just a little bit of a note for people here with sleeps. About a year ago, they applied the tank passive to Bob, which means that Bob actually... doesn't get slept for as long as Bob used to. While it's usually 5 seconds, Bob is 3 seconds. So the point I'm trying to make here is just be careful of that. Some people will sleep Bob and assume that 5 seconds will be there, and then they wake up and assume that their teammate shot Bob. That's not the case. I do think your teammates did wake up Bob in this situation, but remember, it just sleeps Bob a little bit longer. I mean, a little bit shorter, that is. Positioning, I'm okay with that one. The honor grenade. I am also an aggressive honor grenader, so I imagine that even my honor grenade usage is a little bit suspect at times. So when I see an aggressive honor grenade like that, I'm like, I might have done the same thing. Sometimes I like to just force out a cooldown or something when I don't need it. I felt like we had numbers, wouldn't need it for that, so use it more aggressively, get a bubble out at the very worst. That Junkrat, if you're a Junkrat chat in this rank game, don't do that. Somehow it gets a kill, but that's a free way for your teammates to get traded out on. It's somehow working and the Junkrat gets out, but amazing. All right, so nano targets. Sojourn or Diva. You can maybe nano your Cassidy as a survivability tactic if you're going to use that. Your honor grenade just went off the map. Somebody in the water there is pissed. I would have nanoed your Cassidy there if your Cassidy was in line of sight, but due to your Cassidy not being in line of sight, that's really not on you. I mean, it could be on you. It could be on both of you, I guess is the best way to put it. So, not bad. Position has been pretty solid on it. In the same like thing here, just remember, you don't have to push up. You don't have to move around too much. Your position is like what's going to carry you here. So like if you're always in a constant good position, you're not going to have to worry about moving around so much, right? Obviously, if your teammates go out of line of sight, truthfully, sometimes it's just your teammates' fault, and they need to learn like some positioning too on that one. So, yes, nice job, good play. Ana play was pretty clean. I do think that like you obviously use the aggressive Ana grenade, so I want you to try to time those in a way that like makes a little bit more sense for follow-up, as we kind of alluded to when you like did that Junkrat tire one. There's definitely a few things that you can do to make it a little bit more effective on that one for sure. Okay. This is an okay start. The only reason why I don't like this spot sometimes is because of the Widows. You're not having to worry about that, so you're good. So far, so good. Playing up on the high, playing the angle. The only thing you have to worry about is the bottom right door of the Ashe. I actually don't think you should give up that high ground. I think you should stay up there. Good call to go back up. This is the correct play. I think you need to give them multiple different ways to look, and I think staying on the high ground is good. I don't mind that grenade. You just missed it. The idea of that grenade was good. You just missed it. So now you're dropping down because you're losing a little bit of map control, but you're also not looking over here. Okay, this is fine. You're going to a survivability route. Again, I want you to look at your Reinhardt, though. Your Reinhardt's in a really weird spot. Try to get the honor grenade on your Rein. Excellent decision. The reason why you honor grenade your Rein is because the yellow right there will actually give you more healing on your Rein. And with your Rein being so low, you need to catch up on some of that heals. Nice shots, nice damage. Good reaction. You're going to lose the team fight. I wouldn't panic here as a team. You actually just want to reset this. Your Reinhardt should actually just drop shield and die there. Or go to the cart and try to get like a pin or something. Thankfully, you get another like trade by your... How is your Sojourn still alive for that long? There you go. So far, honestly, like, this has been a fine retake. Your Ana... I don't know if this is a hot take. I think your Ana is a little bit better than your Juno right now. I think with your Ana, you kind of understand how you want to use your cooldowns a lot of the time. And because of that, even though you do waste a couple here and there, you're more confident in your gameplay. So, like, when you're playing Ana, it feels like you're making a lot of the correct decisions. When you're on Juno, you're just kind of spamming cooldowns because you're not quite sure how to use them yet. So hopefully throughout this whole process, I've helped you at least understand your cooldown management on Juno, because I think the level up of your Juno will be on your cooldown management, not your mechanics. You know, it's even the positioning. Like the way that Ana's setting up is way more like further back. You're like worrying about angles. The only issue that you really have a lot of the time is you just kind of don't settle yourself in some spots. That is easily fixable, right? But like right here, like rather than wide swing, like look what Ana's doing. Ana's playing an angle, saying, hey, listen, Sojourn, nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to go panic, try to run to heal you. Also playing corners, not giving any opportunity to kill. This is really clean Ana gameplay for this part of the point. Like you're not basically giving them free kills. You can set up in the top right window if you would like, so because that pedal is going to eventually drop. So don't be afraid to go top right window, otherwise it's going to drop you right below. I actually think the top right window could be beneficial for a little bit. Instead you don't, and you just fall back to the same spot. Try to keep your Zarya alive here if the Doom goes up. Look for a sleep. I think you were a little bit ambitious with the sleep. You just kind of used it to use it. So, all right. Nano targets, I believe it or not, I actually think you should nano your Bastion in turret form than your Zarya right now. The reason why I say that is because this is a really easily disengageable map where you can disengage away. And I just think your Zarya won't benefit from it much, but I think that what will happen is I do believe that your Bastion will be able to pressure them so far away that the rest of your team will benefit from this. Now the Orisa maybe gets the nano target, but I would still lean towards your Bastion. Keep in mind, Bastion in turret form. Now I have another suggestion. If your Sojourn would like it, you can nano your Sojourn during this. You can nano your Sojourn during the next play if you would like during the ultimate. I sometimes ask my Sojourn if they want it. Some Sojourns just don't really want it because they know they can just get the one-shots anyway. Some do, but that's also a target now. Now it's definitely Sojourn or Orisa, because if you look at your teammate just swapped to Mei, there's the Sojourn ultimate, but I want to ask you a question on this one. When you did that ultimate, did you think about your Sojourn's cooldowns? Because right there, I don't think your Sojourn had the ability to slide in. So you need to think about giving your teammate the nano based off of what their cooldowns are. How many times, Chad, have you been nanoed by an Ana and you have nothing you can do with it? Not because, like, it was necessarily bad to nano you. It's because you just don't have any cooldowns. You can't do anything. Like and they're not even using it as a survivability tactic. They just assume that you can be aggressive with it, but you just can't because you don't have anything. So sometimes you got to be careful of that. And that's kind of what happened to your Sojourn right there. Playing on the high ground here, playing some angles. You're going to have to back away here. Your team's struggling to push forward. You can't sleep your Mei. Nice try. Yeah, I mean, right now your team is just getting kind of snowballed out. The Doom is feeding a little bit. Might go for a punch out. Soldier to your left. Honestly, that was a good play by the Soldier 76 to go to the left side there. Good Mei ultimate here. Obviously, you're running back to your team. You're going to probably win this team fight, so use this opportunity to position to a really good spot because you have overtime spawns. In fact, I think your teammate might just win this if you win this team fight right here, because I think the overtime spawns are going to be too long for them to get an effective retake, so it's going to come down to this Junkrat tire getting 4. As long as you position properly, you'll be in a good spot. There's the tire. Look for the tire. Get a shot on it if you can. Your teammates did a really good job of backing away. Nano your Orisa when you get it. Just nano your Orisa to guarantee some survivability. And good job. Yeah, your Ana is better than your Juno. You're so comfortable with that that you can I can just tell by your position and that, like, your Ana is just better than your Juno, straight up. You're really just like cooldown management away from leveling that up. And I think that's going to be your number one thing. You just really need to focus on how you manage your cooldowns in these situations rather than just like spamming them. Like your speed rings were just off. Also, don't be afraid to have similar position and on Juno, not as far back, but like the same concept. You finished strong here. Healing was good. Damage was good. You and your support had good balance. Survivability was strong due to solid positioning. Let me look at that. Only 9 deaths in a 24-minute game. So now guessing the rank. I'm gonna go with Plat 3. I initially went with gold because of your Juno. But then I watched your Ana and I realized that you positioned very well when you were doing that. And like I look at their comp and it's like, I'm not going to go to Diamond quite yet. And the reason why I wouldn't go to Diamond is I'm just looking at the overall team comp. Like you're not going to see this too often. I don't quite go into Gold yet because when I start to see your mechanics and your positioning, I'm like, okay, wait a second. Like there's a lot here that could go well. Even if I'm wrong here, I feel like that's a good thing if like I went higher, because I feel like you have a lot of good stuff here that you just need to clean up. And the rank is Plat 5. There you go. I went with Plat 3. The rank was Plat 5. I initially went with Gold 2. If you kind of average it out, it's around that rank, right? So my initial reaction in Quick Play was Gold 2. My reaction watching the game was Plat 3. Pretty much in the middle of that right there. So there you go. It's solid. Like I said, you have a really good base here. I just hope that you kind of take into account what I said on Juno, because I think that is what will level up your gameplay more than anything else. So you got this. You absolutely got this. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment. All that stuff helps. If you want to submit your own, my Discord's where to do it. Obviously, we get a lot of videos submitted on there, so that's where you do that. Outside of that, if you want to watch more of these, you're going to see a little square pop up on the side over here. Click it. It's a good one if you like these videos. With that being said, hope you have an amazing day/night.